I'm Ashley Black, I'm 44 years old, and I'm here to change the world. I was born with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis and really overcame that as a child. And then in my 20s, I got stricken with this crazy flesh-eating bacteria that got in my spinal fluid and ate my hip and half of my leg. 93% of people who get this particular strand die. After this whole near-death experience, the first thing that I started to do was really try to study the anatomy raw. I actually found 2 different schools of thought, and one of them was based in fascia stretching, although they didn't call it that at the time, and one of them was a tissue release technique that was loosely based in fascia. I used my own techniques to fix myself. A chiropractor in my town was like, "How the heck did you do that?" And then I worked on him, and he said, "My God, my patients need this." And some of his patients just happened to be Olympic track athletes, and they just happened to be friends with a bunch of pro ball players. Because everybody says, "How did you break into the business?" I didn't. It just happened. It was my destiny.
I was working for the NFL. It was starting to not coincide with what I wanted in my life, and Ashley was just really good at connecting the gap to treatment and advancing health more than what I was seeing in the sports medicine community.
25 million Americans suffer from chronic pain. If you're one of them, you're going to want to listen to this. For Ashley, manipulating her fascia was the key to being pain-free. From top 10 pro athletes to Hollywood to the Victoria's Secret runway, Ashley uses this $89 tool to move muscles and joints to get at the fascia below and transform pain.
I always felt like people would become interested in the science and then maybe products would develop, but that turned out to be the opposite.
The reason why the FasciaBlaster is so important and why fascia is important is because, in a nutshell, it is the protective mechanism and sensory mechanism for the body.
Just to give you a point of reference, meat, like a steak, you pull it open and see the webbing that's in the muscle of the meat, or in fried chicken, that membrane, that is fascia in animals, and we have it all over our bodies.
What's it doing to the body?
So think of it again like a hair knot. So what everybody's doing with foam rolling and massages is like using the backside of the brush. You actually have to briskly go through it. The way that the FasciaBlaster works is you just start rubbing it on bare skin with oil, and it keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper and just breaking up the dysfunctions and the adhesions and the problems in our fascia, which the fascia houses the blood and nerves. So while you're restoring fascia, you're also getting, better blood flow, nerve activity, which obviously relates to pretty much every single health issue in totality. I never intended to invent the FasciaBlaster. I was looking for anything that could help my poor little hands and the hands of all the little girls and our therapist, and that's when we realized that nothing out there exists that did what we needed it to do, and that's where the FasciaBlaster was born. Well, the big secret is that cellulite isn't real. It's just the connective tissue, and it's not even fat, so.
That blows up
curable.
a lot of theories, I think. I'm excited to see how you...
I'm here to argue with all the experts. What happened that was a really pivotal moment was finding out that fascia and cellulite are the same thing. What happened was one of my pro ball players' girlfriends used it, sent me a text message and said, "Hey, you know what? I think that stick got rid of my cellulite." And it literally was one of those moments in time where you go, like, how have I studied this my entire career and didn't make the connection?
I think Ashley just put plastic surgeons out of business.
How do you describe what we're doing? How do you describe how you just touch someone and change the way they move or the way they feel?
It's just so effective that I don't think women can help but be passionate. Not only is it minimizing their cellulite, it's helping them to feel better.
Thank you so much for bringing this life-altering tool into my life.
You have no idea what you've done for my world, my friend's world.
I am turning back the hands of time, minute by minute.
Y'all are literally an answer to prayer.
It would seem that you wouldn't even need to suffer from chronic pain to benefit from this. Almost anybody could.
I have to tell you, this is another example of one of these segments that we do that I feel like could apply to so many, certainly of my patients.
We have over 200,000 women. We're the largest closed women's only Facebook group. And they just had so many questions and they just kept coming. My inbox would have thousands of messages and we were like, We just have to write a book.
The new book, The Cellulite Myth, is creating waves of interest across the country.
How does it feel, first of all, to be a best-selling author before the books even hit store shelves?
You know, I think for me, it's just a testament to the powerful movement that's happening with people and their health.
Where did you come up with the unique title, Cellulite Myth?
Even though the book is called The Cellulite Myth, we have to suck people in somehow.
Right.
You can sell anybody on cellulite. Health, not so much, right?
Yeah.
We're just, it's difficult to show a before and after of, oh, I'm in pain and now I'm not. But cellulite is, you know, just our way of roping people in. But the book and the movement is about just educating the whole world about this system of the body we just missed completely.
This book provides information that has not been available anywhere else. I think people will use this like an encyclopedia about their body and about this thing called this connective tissue to see science that hasn't been available to them before.
My background is that I was a business consultant, worked for Accenture a long time ago. It's unprecedented, the growth and the explosion of revenue and what she's been able to accomplish. The whole emphasis on fascia is going to disrupt the medical profession in a way that will create a cultural explosion. There will be brand new avenues of health management and medical awareness. I can honestly say that in all of the years that I've been in business, I've never met somebody who has this incredible passion and commitment to change people's lives in a way that will be new and different, and that will perhaps change the healthcare culture in our country for years to come.